Hello, my soapy friends, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Lissa, also known as the Soap Chef on this channel, where we make all things with a rather good lather. I've been a maker in this industry for over 2 decades. We are a 3D bath bomb mold supplier, and my favorite products to make, of course, are bath bombs. But that's enough about me. Let's get right into the video. Okay, friends, we are back over here at Creation Station, and we are going to make a very simple eye cream today. And the first thing we need to do to make that eye cream is we need to make our 1% hyaluronic acid. Okay, so we're going to take our hyaluronic acid powder. It is cosmetic grade. And the first thing we're going to do is add 98.5 grams of distilled water. Just a titch too much. Now it's a titch too less. Good enough. All right, we're going to tear that scale out, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add 1 gram of hyaluronic acid powder. And now we're just going to let this sit. We are not going to move it. We're just going to let this sit. It's going to start to swell up and hydrate on its own. So we're actually going to let this sit by itself for a while. We'll come back and see what it's looking like. And if it's looking okay, then we'll give it another stir. Okay, we have let our hyaluronic acid solution sit here for several hours to hydrate on its own. If you guys are working with hyaluronic acid powder, just know that you're not going to be able to stir it in. Put it in like I did before and set it aside. Really resist the urge to stir. I know we all want to do that. Oh gosh, it's just sitting there on the top. Let's stir that down in. It will clump up on you something awful. Trust me, it will. So you guys saw what I did. I just put the amount in here. And then I just set it off to the side to let it hydrate on its own. It does take several hours to do that. So let's take a look and see. It looks to me like it is completely dissolved. There's no chunks. Sometimes you'll have like a little bit of a skin from some leftover residual powder that didn't get mixed in. But as you guys can see, this is completely clear. It's completely dissolved, but this looks good to go. Now, the last thing we need to do is we need to preserve this. So let's go ahead and get out our trusty little scale, and we're going to add some Germal Plus into the mix here. Okay, come on, tear to 0. Thank you very much. All right, just like that. We're done with the preservative. Let's get that all mixed in. All right, that's good enough. And now we can go ahead and put that into our bottle. Everything has been sanitized, of course. Go ahead and put your dropper in. I usually give it a squeeze with the nipple, put it in, and let the nipple and the rod just suck up some of the product so that everything fits. And so now you've got your 1% hyaluronic acid that you can use in other products, in particular facial products, which we're going to be doing right now. Okay, now that our xanthan gum is hydrated with some of our hydrosol, which, if I didn't mention this before, this is rose hydrosol. But all we need to do now is start adding all the rest of the ingredients. So we've got our Allantoin right into the pool. Now what I do to try to incorporate this a little bit better and get it to dissolve thoroughly is I stick the beaker with the hydrosol in a water bath, and I just warm that up slightly. I don't even bring it to a boil, not even a simmer. I just warm it up ever so gently, you know, in a double bath situation. But I just stick the whole beaker right down in there. And then that helps me to dissolve this allantoin a little bit better. So I still see a couple little guys still floating around down there on the bottom, but the longer that this sits in the liquid, it'll continue. I'm not really seeing any right now, just maybe a couple of teeny tiny little boogers right there on the bottom. You can see them just a little bit. But they'll continue to dissolve once we continue going. All right, so that's that. Next up, we're going to put in our niacinamide. Give that a stir. Looks like everybody is dissolved down in there. Yep, everybody's dissolved down in there. Okay, now we are going to be adding our hyaluronic acid solution. This is a 1% solution, but we're going to put that in next. This is the solution. Try to get every little drop because this stuff is expensive. All right. Stir, stir, stir. All right, everybody is incorporated pretty well. I don't see any little flakes on the bottom. Everybody's dissolved. So now we're going to add in our oil phase. And so I've mixed everything together just for simplicity for the video's sake. So in here I have got olive squalane, panthenol, evening primrose, vitamin E. Okay, so that is our oil phase. And that's also why I chose rose as the hydrosol. There's so many different ones that you could choose. There's cucumber, which I already did a facial mist on that. You guys saw the video on that already. There's lavender, there's chamomile. Oh gosh, there's a lot. So obviously we just put oil into water, and that's not going to combine and stay combined. But it will once we get our xanthan gum mixture in here. But I am going to stir this for a good 2 minutes. All right, that's been about 2 minutes. So let's go ahead and add our xanthan gum mixture that has been fully hydrated now with our glycerin. And then we put some of the hydrosol in there. And we're going to give it a stir. All right, now we're going to get in here with our little whizzer. Try to keep your little frother down as low as you can inside of your vessel to try to eliminate the bubbles. It's inevitable, you're going to get them. But if you keep it kind of low down to the bottom, it'll at least lessen the amount of bubbles that you're going to get. All right, what I like to do now is just leave it sit here, let it rest, let it calm down a little bit, come back and check it out. If we need to give it a couple more whizzes, we will. Bring it back in a second. So we have let this sit here for roughly about 30 minutes, and we're going to check the viscosity of it. Looks good to me. Yeah, it looks good to me. It's important to note, you guys, that this is not like an emulsified lotion or cream. This is an oil-based serum for your eye area, okay? So xanthan gum is not an emulsifier, it's a thickener. So you may see, I don't see right now, but you may see when you're formulating this that it looks like there's still some like little oil beads that have not been bound with all of the other ingredients that we have in here. I don't see anything here. If that does happen to you, you can always add just a little bit more of your xanthan gum mixed with your glycerin. We don't have that problem here. So the very last thing that we want to do is add our preservative, because this is a water-based product. So let's go ahead and get that on the scale, and we're going to add our Germal Plus. All right, that's that. Stir, stir, stir. And I'll let you guys see the consistency of this. Let me turn the spatula around. You see how this is now? This is what we want. That's the consistency that we want. This is going to be put into a dropper bottle, and this is just for your eye area. Okay? All right, that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and get our dropper bottle. And we can just pour right in here. You guys can see, again, the viscosity here. What I do then is I squeeze my dropper before I put it down into the bottle, so it can take up some of that volume. I actually put too much in here. All right, so squeeze, and then you can go ahead and put your cap on. There we go. Let's test this out though. This is going to be for me because I am out. All right, let's see what the, there you go. That's nice. That's what you want. That's the texture and the consistency that you want. And for me, this lasts a really long time because one drop is plenty enough for each eye. Very, very nice, silky. That rosehip oil is going to do wonders. I'm actually going to rub this all into my hands because it's just wonderful. So after you're done rubbing this in, you should not have a really greasy feeling. It should feel plump and moist. There's no residual oils left on my hands. There's no oil slick. It's not slippery and greasy. It's not sticky or tacky. This is a really, really wonderful product for aged eyeballs, just like mine. Okay, you guys, that is going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed this, please give it 2 thumbs up, comment, and share with your friends. I would appreciate that oh so much. As per usual, I'm going to go ahead and put this recipe up in the members section as well as my Patreon, and you can grab that recipe there. Till we meet again, though, be kind and stay humble. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon.